back on the Detroit project here. Finally did get the cab off of this beast and open things up a lot more. I think the last one I just kind of got it fired and it kind of run off, and I got her shut down. So we're going to find out what's going on with that. I already pulled this right hand valve cover off. Everything looks good in there. Nothing sticking. So we're going to come over here and pull this one off and see if we can find something that's causing it. Probably a stuck injector or something, but we'll get the valve cover off and see what we got. Don't know how long it's been since this engine has run, but apparently it's been long enough to get the lube out of the injectors. Okay, let's see what we got here. I see it already. I don't know if you can see this or not, but see the big gap between the rocker arm and the injector. That injector is stuck down, just going full fuel, and that binds the rack up. So I'm gonna pull this jake off of here, and sometimes if you get things out of the way, you can get a pair of vice grips on that top of that injector and tap on the vice grips and get it back with the spring pressure pushing up. So see what we got to do here and get some more tools. This little, you got to take this little oil supply between your two jake housings, that supplies two at a time, and back this screw off here, and then tune this one, twine it back in to come off the seal. So you don't have no pressure there. You can pull the jakes up off of there, and I got enough room. I can just pull this off and lay it up over the top there and see. So I'm gonna get some more tools. Okay, get them bolts out of there and lay this up over the top here ever so gently. So these push rods and the cam follower, they're down in there. If I get a light here, you might be able to see this back one. They have, it's hard to see, but there's little snap rings that hold these down in the block. If I wanted to take the time and take them all up off of there, unsnap them, these would pull the whole way up, but I'm just going to pull the stands off the shaft and get the shaft out of there enough to hold it up, see if I can get at that injector and go from there. The shaft probably isn't going to come out of there because I can't get it up far enough, but I can get it up out of the way. If I get this other line off of here, I might be able to get it off of here. So take this bridge, this valve bridge off of there. Keep all this stuff from getting too boogered up, messed up. Just spray this down with blaster a little bit, something to work its way down in around that injector plunger. Sometimes if you bump these down a little bit more and just it'll get the blaster worked in there. Could probably take the rocker shaft off of there and give myself a little bit more room, but sometimes these will free up fairly easy, but sometimes not. Okay, well, now you can pretty much see the spring is uncompressed now. So let's put her back together and see if the rocker shaft, rocker arm is down on the valve when it's tightened up like it should be. Okay, so now you can see that we are down flush where it's supposed to be, like all the rest of them. So it should start and run just fine. But I'm going to take this pin that goes in this rod up into your governor box on these old girls. So I'm going to pull this pin out so I can work everything manually here and see how free the rack is moving without. And on these old Detroits, you always hear guys talking about running the rack. Detroit basically is one of the only ones that really have this rack system. Everything else is just manually adjusting as far as valves and injectors. But so let me take that pin out. Let's see. Okay, so everything's working like it should. Nothing stuck. All right, so that's basically what you find in these old Detroits when you get stuck. You gotta move this oil supply back out there and snug it up so that you don't forget it. Little rubber seal on the end of that. Doesn't have to be tight, it just has to be up there flush. And put the lock nut back down there and snug it up so it doesn't back off or your jakes will quit working, at least on these two cylinders. Or one of them. Alright, there you have it. I think we should be good to go to get some. I think I'm going to hook some more fuel lines back up and batteries and try to fire this again while it's still mounted in the truck before we pull it out and go from there. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens next. Alright, back at it here. Got injectors freed up as you saw there before, so we got some fuel lines going to it now. I'm just running off a bucket here, 5 gallon. Got some batteries in it, they were a little low. Got my battery charger generator going on it. I'm still just going to run the push button. Tapped into an oil where the essentially got the cab off, where the oil pressure was coming from, so I can see what's going on there. So, see what our batteries does here, and top the filters off a little bit. They were down, so see what happens. Hopefully it's just going to run. Much better. Seeing that little bit of stuff spewing out of where the power steering pump line came off, but that's how a cool old Detroit stove's supposed to sound. I'm not going to let it run too long here. No water in it, obviously. Get warm pretty quick, so shut it out here. Let me go shut my charger off here. Okay, well, that's much better. Now we'll continue to pull it out of the machine, this truck, and get it cleaned up and painted and ready to go into 63. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned and see where we go next. Catch y'all later.